Y'all need to be more specific when y'all talking about shit. Somebody just said that Hulk died. I'm thinking like, Marvel Hulk? The guy who played Hulk? He died? They talking about some fucking Hulk Hogan. Oh, you know what? I'm a godly woman. Rest in peace to that man. But we didn't give a damn. That's in the Bible.
Now let's get one thing straight before anyone starts dramatically lighting candles or queuing up emotional montage videos. Hulk Hogan is very much alive. In fact, according to people close to the wrestling icon, he's far from being on his last legs. This week, Hogan found himself back in a hospital bed, but not for anything as dire as those social media rumors had folks believing. It turns out he was just tending to some ongoing neck and back issues that have been giving him trouble for years. Although the online buzz would have you convinced that it was time to break out the farewell tributes, the reality of the situation is way less dramatic. It all started when a local radio host decided to share some so-called inside information, claiming Hogan's condition had taken a serious nosedive. The whispers said his loved ones were being called in for final goodbyes, sparking panic among fans and even a few wrestling colleagues who were quick to post their prayers and well wishes.
If you did some sniffing around, you might find him at a hospital near you.
Oh, no.
And it's not good. I got some pretty reliable information last night that there are phone calls being made to various family members about getting to town to come say your goodbyes.
Oh.
I don't know.
Have you been invited?
Well, of course, I'll be the line. No.
Oh, of course you're going to be. Oh.
Of course, since I'm top of the list of not getting in.
What if he does want to forgive you on his deathbed, though? That would mean a lot to you.
I mean, I have to run it by Seth.
What? Yeah, no.
Seth.
Oh, he doesn't have your new number.
He didn't have my new number.
Yeah.
He can get a hold of me. But, so, listen, I don't know this to be true. Rumor has it. Word on the street.
Well, how reliable are your sources? I mean,
pretty damn reliable, but I still want to frame it, Seth, in case he got discharged last night at midnight. And I've not been able to talk to my sources, since yesterday, 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
So my sources are that, and I don't know it to be true. Rumor has it. Allegedly, Hogan is in the hospital, and I've heard people say that he might not make it.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the truth was far calmer. Hogan, who's 71 now, has been dealing with wear and tear from his decades-long career in the ring. If you've followed wrestling even casually, you know the kind of punishment those athletes endure. Hogan's list of injuries reads like a medical journal. Back surgeries, neck procedures, and more hospital visits than most people rack up in a lifetime. But through it all, he's kept going. You see, Hogan underwent a neck surgery just last month, and by every account, it was a huge success. Doctors addressed lingering complications from old injuries, and while recovery hasn't been a breeze, it's been steady. That latest hospital visit this week, just a follow-up, a chance for doctors to check on how everything's healing and make sure there's no fresh damage. Also, it's worth noting that Hogan's rep quickly shut down the grim rumors. In a statement, they assured fans that while the WWE legend was in the hospital, it wasn't a life or death situation. He's dealing with the same issues he's battled for years, and anyone acting like it's a surprise clearly hasn't been paying attention to the man's medical history. Even though the internet loves a dramatic narrative, not every hospital trip means someone's making their final curtain call. Hogan's case is proof of that. His visits are part of a long-standing routine to manage pain and mobility issues. Fans who followed his journey know that the man's resilience is one of his defining traits. He's been through worse and bounced back each time. Nevertheless, it's understandable why people get anxious when a name as legendary as Hulk Hogan pops up in health scare headlines. The guy's an icon. For many, he was their childhood hero, a larger-than-life character who body-slammed villains and dropped leg drops like nobody's business. Hearing that he's back in a hospital naturally stirs up concern. Truth is, Hogan spent the last decade quietly dealing with the aftermath of a lifetime of wrestling, multiple back surgeries, knee operations, and even spinal fusions have become a part of his life. And while he's slowed down from his glory days in the squared circle, his presence in the wrestling world remains strong. He still makes appearances, still connects with fans, and still talks about his love for the sport that made him a legend. At the same time, it's a reminder of the physical toll that profession takes. Modern fans see today's WWE stars doing insane stunts and brutal matches, but Hogan's generation was no different. In fact, many argue they had it rougher, with less advanced medical care, and a culture that encouraged working through injuries. Hogan's body has paid the price for those years of pushing through. As it turns out, Hogan isn't just recovering. He's reportedly up and moving already. Friends close to the star say he's back to walking and doing light rehab. He may not be hitting the gym for a heavy lifting session just yet, but he's mobile, and his spirits are good. For a man in his 70s with his kind of medical history, that's a win. Now, if you're wondering how these rumors even got started in the first place, it's the same old story. A bit of information gets shared by someone claiming to be in the know, it snowballs on social media, and before you know it, people are posting RIP messages for someone who's literally texting them back. It's happened to countless celebrities, and this week, it was Hogan's turn. Although the source of the rumor tried to hedge their comments, claiming that circumstances could have changed since they last heard. The damage was already done. Once those headlines started circulating, fans worldwide were ready to believe the worst. That's the double-edged sword of internet fame. The same platforms that keep you connected can also spread misinformation like wildfire. Meanwhile, Hogan's inner circle didn't waste time addressing the chatter. They moved quickly to clarify that while Hogan was dealing with ongoing health issues, it was nothing new, and certainly not as dire as some claimed. The message was clear. Yes, he's in recovery, but no, he's not dying. You see, Hogan's had to deal with these kinds of rumors before. It seems like every couple of years, someone decides to speculate about his health, and each time, he proves them wrong. His resilience has become part of his legend, not just for what he did in the ring, but for how he keeps fighting long after the spotlight dims. Also, this situation shines a light on how obsessed people can be with celebrity health. There's this weird mix of concern and morbid curiosity. Whenever a famous figure faces a health scare, it's as if some folks can't resist speculating, even when they have no facts to back it up. In Hogan's case, it's amplified because of his legendary status in pop culture. Even though he's mostly stepped away from the ring, Hogan remains a symbol of an era. His influence on professional wrestling and pop culture at large is undeniable. So anytime his name pops up in a health context, it grabs attention. Nevertheless, it's important to separate fact from fiction. While Hogan's hospital visit is real, the overblown reports about his condition aren't. He's managing his chronic issues like he's done for years, and according to those closest to him, he's in stable condition. Truth is, the wrestling community is fiercely protective of its legends. When rumors like this surface, fellow wrestlers and fans rally in support. Social media lit up with tributes, throwback photos, and messages of encouragement. Even though the situation wasn't as critical as feared, the outpouring of love was a testament to Hogan's lasting impact. At the same time, it's a lesson in how quickly misinformation can spread. A single unverified claim can spiral into a full-blown narrative, and before anyone has a chance to fact-check, it's already viral. Thankfully, this time, the truth emerged fairly quickly. As it turns out, Hogan's situation isn't unique. Many athletes, especially those from physically demanding sports like wrestling, deal with long-term health complications. The difference is, most don't have their hospital visits trending worldwide. Now Hogan's focus is on recovery. Sources say he's following his doctor's recommendations, sticking to a rehab routine, and staying connected with his fans. The plan is to take it slow, avoid unnecessary risks, and continue enjoying life on his own terms. Although he's no stranger to setbacks, Hogan has always bounced back. His career was built on overcoming the odds, both scripted and real life. This latest chapter is just another example of his resilience. Meanwhile, fans can rest a little easier knowing their childhood hero isn't in any immediate danger. Hogan's story isn't over yet. If history's any indicator, he'll be back at public events, shaking hands and dropping nostalgic catchphrases before long. You see, the man's as tough as they come. Decades of injuries haven't broken him. Neither have the rumors. And if anything, this latest episode only adds to the legend of Hulk Hogan, the wrestler who refuses to stay down. Also, it wouldn't be a proper Hogan story without a bit of drama. The guy built his brand on theatrics. And even now, the world can't help but tune in whenever his name makes headlines. Whether it's a health scare, a comeback appearance, or a surprise cameo, Hogan knows how to keep people talking. Even though this particular incident turned out to be much ado about nothing, it served as a reminder of how beloved Hogan remains. Generations of fans, from the 80s boom to today's casual viewers, still care about what happens to the man behind the mustache. Nevertheless, the takeaway here is clear. Hulk Hogan is not on his deathbed. He's dealing with chronic health issues, managing his recovery, and, as always, proving that he's tougher than the rumors. And if history has shown us anything, it's that you can't count the Hulkster out.